Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men, women, children of all ages, you're in for a treat tonight because we, the Eagles Elite Podcast family, are here to provide you with some excellent commentary, conversations, and thoughts on the only undefeated team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm suffering from a little bit of a voice overload from my time at the game on Sunday. Amazing experience, by the way. But we're here to give y'all a lot of thoughts, a lot of insights. Just let you a little bit into what we feel is going on with those, again, undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. So if you're a fan of the Eagles, you want to know about the Eagles, you're just a hater in disguise who wants to sneak on and look, we welcome everybody. Just make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button. We love to have you do that as well. And we're joined as always by my guy Wyatt.
Yes, sir. You know, as always, I'm here ready to talk some Eagles football.
Yes, sir. Our first lady of the night, Jen J. Swoop.
What up, everybody? Bird Gang.
Yes, sir. And tonight, last but not least, our resident Eagles diva.
What's good, Bird Nation? Swoop.
Let's go, let's go.
Diva.
Y'all know how we get this started, so ain't nothing to it but to do it.
The kick is away, and the kick is it's gone! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
If you can't get hyped with that, man, I don't know what to tell you. But so everyone, another exciting game this past week. A lot of big things, I'll say popping, some little things stopping. But again, I love to say it as much as possible. Still undefeated, Philadelphia Eagles. So let's start. We'll talk a little breaking news here. No, we have one piece of breaking news that we definitely have to discuss. But Wyatt, talk to us about our breaking news, man. What we got going on in the Eagles Nation?
Yeah, I mean, as of today, Jordan Davis unfortunately got put on IR, so he's out at least 4 weeks.
Yep.
I was kind of like iffy because they waited a little while to announce putting him on IR. It kind of gave everybody a little sliver of hope that maybe he would come back within that 4-week window, but it's not looking likely at this point. So it's definitely a big blow because he's been getting a lot more reps as of recently. We got to see him a decent amount before he went out of the game. But man, that's a big blow to the defense. But luckily, we got to bring Robert Quinn in there, add some more depth to that defensive line and everything. So hopefully we are good up until whenever Jordan Davis does come back, maybe a little before the playoffs there or in the playoffs.
Yeah, the designation he has to be out at least 4 weeks, right? The good thing about it is, we're at a point in the season right now where, like you said, we made the trade for Robert Quinn, which seems so much more important now because of, this injury. But, I mean, we're rolling. We just got to, weather the storm for a few weeks. Hopefully this is the last, major injury we have. We all know how it goes. Fingers crossed. Wood knocked on, all that good stuff. Throw some salt over my shoulder, all that. But, hopefully this is it. And from here, we're just moving in the direction of getting him back, getting some guys from being nicked up, and focusing on, this big game on Thursday. And, at this point in the season, to me, every game's big because we're undefeated and it's about staying there. We're getting everybody's best punch. So, we just got to be there. And unfortunately, for at least 4 weeks, we're going to be missing our big guy. So, it's tough, but that hurts. Eagles Diva, what are your thoughts?
Well, I was going to say the same thing about the breaking news with Jordan Davis. I did make some notes. I'm a lot older than you guys. Sorry. So, but I did see that, He's played in all 7 games this year, starting in 5. And I think he's had 14 total tackles. Davis has. He'll be missed by defense, which is only the second in this league. Allowed an average of 4.7 yards per play. And it was rumored when I looked, and I cannot say this guy's last name, please excuse me, Marlon Chiwipolo? Did I say that right?
I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I don't know how to say it either. I got the Marlon part right. And I think that Quinn was a steal from what I read for the 4th round draft pick. And they're paying the rest of his salary, if I read that right, for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Except for I think we're only paying like $700,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think what I read was he's unguaranteed next year, but so doesn't matter if he does well. We won't have to worry about that.
Absolutely. Eagles Diva?
Yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna come back. A high ankle sprain takes a longer to heal than a low ankle sprain. If you know anything about basketball, you know that it takes a while for that to kind of heal. But I'm glad that it was that and not a knee, because a lot of people at first thought it could have been a knee injury. Just by the way he was like not putting no pressure, and he like at one point he was like almost about to cry. He was in pain. But hey, I'm glad it was just a high ankle sprain and nothing more serious than that. And I'm glad we got to see him more, but we kind of talked about kind of not using him as much so he could get a little better, and we don't want him dinged up already. He is a young guy, so we really don't want too many injuries pile up on him. We don't need a Jason Peters, you know what I'm saying? We just got rid of that. We don't need another guy. So yeah, but I'm glad that at least it was. But then we got Quinn, so next man up. I feel like we got enough depth to cover Davis. So I feel like we good. As long as Gannon keep doing what he doing, we all right.
Still got our eyes on him, man.
Yeah, it. Them laser eyes.
It's gonna be full attention the rest of the season.
Yeah, you're not out of the blue at all yet, sir. We watching you. The eyes are on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still need to see more. And until we do, we watch you. That's for real. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, go ahead and take the opportunity here to go ahead and enjoy the opportunity. I said that twice. To talk about what happened on Sunday. Right. So
I don't know, Cool. I think you should be first because you were there. I want to hear about that.
I had to call you out. I'm like, where's the videos, bro? Like, we trying to be there with you. Where's the live? He was quiet. I'm like, what is going on?
Hey,
he gonna be quiet.
You got to understand, I was not quiet. I was very loud.
Well, we wanted to be there with you, bro.
But you gotta understand. You get into the environment and you start like talking to people. You high fiving people.
But you're supposed to bring us with you so we can talk.
But you got Steelers fans beside you. You got Eagles fans. We going back and forth.
But we supposed to be there too. So
hey, look. I gotta be real with you. If you gotta be there, you gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be there, you gotta be there. Lucky for you, by the time you got later in the game, we had gotten to a point where
you gonna give us that little snippet?
Hey,
awesome. Yeah, man. Everybody heard it went on by the end.
Hey, listen, you get the snippet or you get nothing. So
whoa,
the snippet is what had to happen. No, I mean, you gotta understand. If you're not in the environment, why you've been to games before, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get caught up in the environment, man. You think about your phone and pulling out, taking pictures and videos. And then when I try to take some, I also understand whenever a big play happens, you got to jump up, run to the aisle, and try to take a picture before all the wildness occurs because you don't get a lot of time. So when they going through the end zone, you're not getting it unless you're sitting way up in the nosebleed section, all on top of everybody. See, I was on the bottom level, 14 rows from the field. So the 13 rows in front of me, as soon as something might happen, everybody shot up.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things I just couldn't get. But then, the videos, I'm like, oh, yeah, I might want to do a video. But listen, I was in there. I was in the environment. I was enjoying the banter. I was having quite a time.
Sir,
But then,
you a vet now. You've been to a couple of games now. I don't thank you, but
oh nah,
I'm not hearing that.
that's the first game in
I'm not
Philly
hearing
I've
that.
been
You're
to
a
in
vet
like
now.
4 years. So come on, man. That's the
You
first
just
game in
Saying
Philly
you
in
could
like
have
4
videoed
years.
at halftime.
Oh, at halftime I had to get
Halftime
vittles.
report.
You had to get
Vittles.
loose.
You had
Okay.
to get vittles at halftime, right? You got to, use your restroom, grab you some food, talk some smack to a couple of Steelers fans, yell Eagles 20 times. I mean, it's a lot of things that went on.
I'll take this from Diva.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're
bring the
teasing. We're
smoke.
teasing.
Bring the smoke. It's all good. But nah, guys, it was an exciting experience. The biggest thing was just being in our stadium with our fan base. And the thing is, I go to games every year, but a lot of times it's not a home game. So
Yeah.
to be like there in Philadelphia, to be like everywhere you went the whole weekend, it's Eagles or Phillies, right? So it was great. Not a Phillies fan, but they're still the team in Philly. So I can't get mad that people will rep the other team in Philly, but a lot of Eagles stuff. A lot of people were there with like Eagles jerseys on, Phillies hat, Phillies shirt under their Eagles jersey, kind of thing, kind of double repping, which was cool because I mean, if you got both teams there, obviously you're going to want to represent that a little bit. But man, it was crazy. It was so much love. Like everywhere you go, like I live in Charlotte, so you go to Walmart, you go to the grocery store, you go wherever. There's all this Carolina boo-boo crap, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there, it was Eagle stuff everywhere, right?
Like
It's
Evan,
everywhere.
right? Just like
Yeah, when you're not from there and you don't get a chance to be there a lot, it's like you're going into another world, right? Then you get to the stadium, I got some pictures of the front, some pictures of the crowd. It's crazy. And then the pro shop, everybody's just pounding, high-fiving. Steelers fans, they were good sports. They kind of were saying from the beginning, we're probably not going to win this game. But by the end of the game, they were like, man, y'all might be winning a Super Bowl this year. This team is a lot better than even we've seen, watching y'all play on TV. So it was a fun, just like overall thing. Did get a little back and forth with a couple of Steelers fans that were right beside me. But hey, man, I mean, they were on the other side of the other row. So it was, excuse me, I'm still a little dry, still recovering the throat. But it was, got this from Latina. Thanks, Latina. Tell everybody to hit that like button. Definitely. It was just an opportunity to really see them play. And the guys on the field, I'll tell you, this is the important part. I was close enough to kind of see them interact because I was by the end zone on the Eagle side. So I was able to kind of be where I could kind of see a little bit of the sidelines. Man, they're dapping each other up. They're laughing and playing. Kelsey's down there with his fat Batman mask on. Just wow, man. It's just crazy. And, Devontae Smith was over there putting the swole Batman cape on. AJ Brown, they were having fun. They did the drumline celebration.
Mhm.
They just have a good time together. I mean, the offense and the defense are laughing and playing with each other. Special teams. It's just like when you see teams, you talk about like chemistry and how you have to have just that little extra oomph to go deep, try to win a Super Bowl. It feels like they have that right now. And, you have the right guys. The guys you bring in, they fit. I saw some video of Robert Quinn when he arrived. They actually played that before the game. And they were showing like when he arrived and how he was meeting the players and talking to the players. And they showed the same video a couple of times. So I know y'all probably seen it as well. But I'll tell you guys, the craziest part of the whole game was when Zach Pascal scored that touchdown. If there was a top on that stadium, it would have blown off because they was like crazy about him scoring. The wide receivers were dapping him up, hugging him on the sidelines. Everybody was just coming to him, like pounding him and everything because he plays a different role for them. But when he got that opportunity, and that's something they had worked on all week, he took advantage of that and got that touchdown. Man, they're happy for each other. There's no, AJ's getting all the catches. We looking at him funny. There's no, Miles is getting most of the runs. We're looking at him funny. Jalen's getting most of the love. No, it's a team. They don't care who's doing it. It's just that it's happening. And that was something that you could see that was very evident, from watching. So it's just a great experience. I would definitely recommend doing it. And I would say that this show needs to travel to a game together.
Thank
and
you.
see
That's
it.
what I was thinking.
And then you know what? When you travel together and you see it for yourself, I'm just going to smirk. I'm just going to look at you and smirk. But yeah, it's a crazy vibe. It's a whole different vibe. It's nothing but love. Whenever I go to Philly, because I wear a lot of Eagle stuff. So whenever I go to Philly, like it's like go birds, fly Eagles, fly, pounds, daps, everything. Women, men, boys, girls, whoever, everybody coming up, pounding you, fly Eagles, fly, Eagles fam. It's just crazy. It's like you have a whole city as a family. But yeah, it's definitely worth going to see, and it's amazing.
Absolutely. I can't wait to go hit another game. It's been about a year or two now since I've been.
But so you guys were watching, so you got the commentary because we don't really get that there. We just get a lot of yelling and disrespectful things being thrown back and forth. But from watching it at home and getting to see the game, since you were last time Eagles Eagle, we'll start with you. Talk to me about what you saw from the game, what you liked, and what you think we can carry, on moving forward.
I just saw overall effort, especially on the offense where we were able to throw and run the ball. Miles had another good game.
Yeah.
Gainwell had some yards. AJ Brown had 3 touchdowns down the field basically in the first half. Devontae had a couple of catches, and then, the defense really worked well. Of course, we had CJ Gize again. He came in, got another interception. Like, boy's been balling. Like, just balling out of control. So I liked a lot of what the defense done as well. I know we had a couple of players just, like, real frustrated by, like, the third quarter. They was and gassed. So I seen a lot. I like the way we both worked on each side of the ball. Like, it was a mix up of everything. It wasn't just like, because I know sometimes we get caught up on a couple of plays, or we get caught up on those side sling plays, or just doing the same plays over and over. So we kind of just mixed it up and we kept them guessing. So I like that.
Yeah, definitely. Jay Swoop.
Thanks. Excuse me. Gosh, you know what? First of all, AJ Brown celebration in the end zone. Pretty sure stomped the yard first. Pretty sure third touchdown. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was electric slide? Maybe. Didn't get to see all of it, and then I don't remember the second one. But I love that. Didn't know how they didn't get called for excessive celebration. Don't care. Okay, so I like that Pickett was sacked early in the game. That kind of helped set the tone. The RPO that Goddard got was amazing, that I thought. And Goddard was just a beast the whole game. He's like one of those people that just keeps running and they can't knock him down. He just runs through everything. So, and then, of course, AJ Brown's first 39-yard touchdown. So lost my mind. Can't believe I still have a voice. Not like cool, but I'm surprised. I am. The one thing that I'll mention is, and I don't mention anything negative about the Eagles, but I was not happy with the delayed game from Graham. Not at all, because that helped put them halfway to the goal. And in my opinion, gave him a touchdown. So, and might be not everybody's opinion, but that was my opinion. And everybody makes mistakes. I understand totally, but was not happy about. Actually, I think that's the first time I said anything negative. So with that, I'm done.
Well, I'll say real quick before Wyatt goes, there wasn't even a good explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Like they called a penalty and it's like, what are you talking about? And I had to go back and watch it, obviously, because in the stadium, all we were doing was booing and telling the refs that they suck and they better be glad we don't have batteries. But yeah.
Well, wait. Explain that, because I tried to watch it again, and obviously I didn't find the right clip or whatever. So, what did you when you rewatched
I
it?
mean, all they called it was like an unfootball like move. They said, at least on the broadcast, and I was like, what does that even mean?
I
Like,
don't know either.
there was no clarification. It was something that would never normally be called. I feel like that dude was calling everything. He was not letting the game breathe at all for both sides. I feel like
Well, that's fair.
that ref. They were calling a lot of ticky tack stuff in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Wyatt, your thoughts, man? Because if I get off on that tangent on the yeah.
I mean, I feel like this game was further proof that someone in the organization is watching the show, because man, it's like two things that we talked about before. One was playing a whole game. They played all 4 quarters in this game,
Yeah.
which is exactly what we were talking about coming out of the bye week and everything. The other, man, I forget my other point, but I was just getting lost on that one. But I don't like some of the screen, like the QB runs that they already have planned. I just wish they would do away with that. I feel like Jalen works better whenever, if like the play breaks down, he's able to escape. I just don't like the ones that are already called for him. It seems like he always just gets stuffed. Other than that, there's really not much you can really complain about as far as this game. This is exactly what we were supposed to be doing this whole time, is just running the score up on these teams, not letting your foot off the gas, and having some smart play calling as well. And we were bombing the ball down the field, which we haven't seen that in a couple weeks. So it was great to see that coming out of the bye week and everything. And I feel, and I know we're going to get to it, but if they can keep this level of play up with the Texans and some of these other teams coming up, there's nobody stopping this team. I mean, you have the Miles Sanders, who's playing out of his mind right now, and pick your choice of weapon on the offense. I mean, everybody's been playing out of their mind recently.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see, man. Just to have the amount of different contributors offensively and defensively. Special teams still a little shaky. Don't know about Covey. I think we may need to look at somebody else for that specific spot. Maybe that's why we brought Greg Ward back to the team, but that would be my only concern, because Covey's close to making some bad plays multiple times a game. He doesn't, but it looks like all it takes is one little misstep, and yeah.
I think we need a new special teams coach, because it's not just the returner himself, but like it seems like they're breaking down at least once a game. They almost let somebody go, like a huge gain. They need to do something with special teams. I would say that's probably the only like weak link on the whole squad, is that special teams.
So I'm gonna have to start giving the special teams coach as much attention as I give Gannon, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, if not more. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I can adapt, so that's not an issue at all.
Yeah. You don't want to let one of these teams get through and get an easy touchdown on you, man. Especially if it comes close to the end of a game or something. I don't care how good we are. That's never good.
They're sticking them folks.
Yeah.
Make them chuck up that ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any more thoughts on the Steelers game?
I just have one other thought, and y'all please correct me if I'm wrong or you think I'm wrong. I just saw, like, when Jalen, the offensive line for Jalen, it just seemed to me a lot of the times it was just giant hole in the middle. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
no, you're not wrong.
What I want. Oh, okay. All right. So, and obviously that's not good. So, but that's what I noticed too. I was like, and I don't know. I never played football. Maybe that was the calls. Do not know. But it just seemed like a lot of just parting of the ways for the offensive line. And it just, again, I don't know why.
Well, you remember this. That's why he got sacked a couple of times.
That's what I was thinking. So, right.
He wanted to pick up the tackles all the way.
Well, also, too, they're kind of doing, because he does a lot of RPO, they're doing like zone blocking. So they're blocking to leave lanes. So in case he doesn't have a play, he can run.
Yeah.
But I think
plus it's holding on to the ball a little long too.
Yeah. And then there were a couple of times where he was holding on to the ball a little long, but I'd rather you hold on to the ball and maybe throw it away. Obviously, I'd like you to throw it away instead of take the sack, but I'd rather you take the sack than make a bad throw. We've only have 2 turnovers. Yeah. Right. The only team that has less turnovers than us is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's because of the cheatingest quarterback in the NFL.
Well, the most sacked quarterback right now, so he'll cough it up sooner or later.
So yeah, that's the only team that has less turnovers than us. But I mean, so I get what you're saying, Jen, definitely. But I know there was one specific play, and I was trying to save it so I could, bring it on to actually talk about that. But Jalen Hurts had so much time that he could have ran to Wawa, got him a sandwich, and Wawa takes forever to make your sandwich. Get him a sandwich, buy him a case of water, get him some Hers chips, have him remake the sandwich, run back to the stadium, and throw the ball.
So you think he had that Tom Brady coverage?
Man, listen. For the most part, he had like large circles of no one around him, right? And then he had lanes, and like you said, sometimes the lanes got infiltrated because they'd send somebody or somebody would roll off, but they were initially blocking where he had a whole bubble to throw the ball. So that's why there were so many of those nice on-point throws to A.J. Brown. And I got to say, the first touchdown, that took some balls to throw because if A.J. Brown doesn't go up and get that ball, that's a beautiful pick six for the other team from either one of those guys. But Swole Batman, he doesn't play that way. You put the ball up, Swole Batman goes to get it. So, it's kind of, and I'll be honest, everybody here knows I love Jalen Hurts, and I think he's our guy. But A.J. Brown and sometimes Devontae Smith, they save him sometimes, which is actually what you're supposed to do. No quarterback makes every throw accurate, makes every read. You're supposed to go save your quarterback. And they do a great job of that because I think they have a good friendship. Him and Devontae played together at Alabama. Him and A.J. are like best friends in real life. So you've got two guys that want to see you succeed as well, that are going to do what they can to make you successful as well, which helps them out as well. So I think he's in a great situation. I'm very proud of his progression. I'm proud that even we're talking about 9 weeks into the season, how well he's playing, that we're still undefeated, going into week 9. You can't take that away from us. There's nothing you can do to take that away from us.
Nope.
Scrub Zero, what's going on, man? Appreciate you hopping in and checking us in. And hopping in the chat as well, for sure. But yeah, guys,
I want to piggyback off that first point you made too. Right. It's really cool to see because they haven't been relying on Jalen's feet like they were a little bit more last year. These past couple games, or majority of the season, really, he's been kind of sticking in that pocket for the most part. I mean, unless if it's a planned run or something breaks down, he has to escape. It seems like he's trying to stay in that pocket for a majority of the time. And I mean, that's what makes Lamar is great. He's an MVP, but it seems like he kind of gears more towards the running and then passing, if they have it in the game plan. But it seems like Jalen's kind of turning into that pocket passer. And then if he has to, he uses his feet as a weapon. And that's exactly what you need to have whenever you're going on a successful playoff run. I mean, if you look at it through history, these running QBs don't have a good history in the playoffs, and especially going in the Super Bowl and everything. Right. So I think Sirianni kind of settling them down and having a second year in this offense, it's really working wonders for him. The other point I want to make is I feel like this defensive line should be getting more pressure. I feel like these guys should be getting more sacks. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're just so. I mean, we have had a couple of injuries. I mean, you have Derek Barnett and you have, of course, Jordan Davis. But I feel like we should be creating some more pressure or putting more pressure on these QBs. We saw it a little bit more with like Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins a little bit more in the beginning of the season. We've been getting some sacks here and there, but I feel like we haven't been getting nearly as much pressure as we should be, especially on paper with these players we have.
Well, I mean, I can't argue that we could always do better, defensively. We are the 4th ranked defense,
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
we are doing well there, but yeah, pressures, we could always use more pressures. We're giving up, we're one of obviously the only 5 teams giving up under 300 yards a game to our opponents. We've only given up 803 rushing yards, and 1,286 passing yards. Now, obviously, the defensive stats for us are slightly skewed because we've only played 7 games where some other teams have played 8. So the top 2 defenses in the league have actually already played 8 games, right? So they're, so what they're doing is even more amazing. Buffalo, like us, who was right above us, has played 7. So defensively, that makes it even more impressive what they're doing. And we're only allowing, we've only allowed 16.9 points a game defensively. So
Yeah,
I'm never going to argue why anyone who wants to say we should get more sacks. If we've got 40 sacks, we should have 50.
it's just
We
being
got
picky
60,
at this point.
we can have
That's
7. But hey, so I'm never going to argue with that because you want to sack people. That's what you want to do. I mean, that's what we're here to make happen, the sacks. But we're the top team in takeaways. Differentials plus 14. We've 10 interceptions, 6 fumbles. Total 16 takeaways, and we only have 2 interceptions, no fumbles. So Hurts has really picked that up as well this year. I mean, we are, man, when I look at this team for this year versus last year, and I wasn't even going to talk defensive stats, right? But it just kind of happened. But there's so many things that we've done great. There's so many things, and I'm just excited, and I just hope that they continue. This could be one of those years, guys. I don't want to say those words because I feel like I don't want to say those words, but I'm just going to say
he didn't just say that.
Could be one of those years, guys. This could be one of those years where we can go far. New competition in San Francisco with the big pickup they had, but hey, I'll tell you the same thing I've been saying to every 49ers fan or everyone that feels like, San Francisco's now the team that the Eagles have to be. We want all the smoke. We never ran away from the smoke. We've never asked for an easy path. Give us the smoke so when we win, there's nothing you can say.
You still got Jimmy G.
Right. There you go. And Hurt McCaffrey, who can't stay healthy in full season.
You said it. I didn't.
I concur, so you include me in that.
I don't disagree, but I didn't say it. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say it.
I think those are 2 really great points that people need to understand and realize. But yeah, excited about that. So, we'll go ahead and move to our player of the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with you, Miss J Swoop, this time. Who is your player of the game?
AJ Brown. How could that was for me? I usually struggle with that, but for me, 3 touchdowns, in a row. So that is my play for him. But wait. Excuse me, I do not feel well. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. Where are my honorable mentions? Okay, I'll go off my head. Dallas Goedert, honorable mention. Zach Pascal, honorable mention.
Are you going to do like Wyatt and steal everybody?
Steal everybody? What do you mean?
Ma'am.
I did that last week.
So are you going to give us everybody so that we don't have anybody
No. No. Damn it. Where is it? Okay. 1 second and then I give. I guess.
1 second.
Oh, no. Okay. AJ Brown, my player of the week. I said Goddard, honorable mention. Smitty, honorable mention. Pascal, honorable mention. And Hardgrove, honorable mention because he knocked Pickett on his ass more than once. And that's it. But thank you.
All right, Wyatt, what do you got?
I'm going to go different this week, because I figured, we're going to get AJ Brown and a couple of these players. I'm going to go with a group. I'm going to go with the whole O-line is the player of the game this week because
wait, you can't. Player of the week.
I'm just going to go with the whole O-line, just the position group itself, just for protecting Jalen to give him enough time to go out and, get the ball to AJ Brown and some of these other receivers, help Miles Sanders get some of those holes to, run some clock down in the second half there. I'm just going to go out on a limb, do something different this week.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's your world, man. It's your world. We just in it. Eagles Diva, what you got?
So I'm going to go with my 3 on the defense, which is which we call him No Play Slay, Bradbury, and CJ Gardner. CJ Gardner is just balling. I'm sorry. Like, my dude is catching everything coming his way. So, yeah. On the defense, remind you.
So, J Swoop, I'm going to apologize to you because now we're apparently doing groups and not players. So if you want to have
Great.
honorable mentions, you should be able to have honorable mentions if they're going to do whole groups.
Well, no,
Right,
take
and
away the
multiple
honorable
players.
mention. Those guys are all my players of the week. How's that? Better?
Hey, I mean, it's
Whole
no different
team
from what they're
was
doing,
my
right?
player of the week.
Right.
So-
No,
So my
third
player of the
team.
week is going to be Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts was the one who threw those 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. It had another wonderful game here. Did not use his legs much. I believe he had 2 rushes for 10 yards. So
10 yards. Yep.
everything he was doing was through the air. So we're getting a version, like Wyatt was saying, of Jalen Hurts that's taking advantage of his ability to throw the ball, that's taking advantage of his ability to be aggressive, and is reading defense as well, making adjustments and making the right plays and being careful with the ball. Like I said, I prefer you throw the ball away, but I'll take a sack over a interception 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So kudos to my man Jalen, and it's definitely Hurt seasons. Shout out to the man that started that. Wyatt knows him well.
Yeah, old Lord Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wanted to say I'm kind of depressed because I would hate to lose Bradbury after the season, and it's certainly looking like it because the more he keeps playing like this, man, his price just keeps going up and up and up every game. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to keep him around after this season, but man, people keep trying him because they know big play slays on the other side of that field. So like, oh, let's go to the second CB. And Bradbury, he's been shutting everything down, man. It's amazing.
Man, we got to be smart. We have not had CBs like that in
Quite a while.
So I'll just say this, man. Just ride the wave, bro. I'm not even worried about next year right now. Let's just ride the wave this year.
Oh,
Right?
as soon as I see him make a
Yes.
huge play, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna suck because I love this dynamic and I just want to see that going forward, like through the next couple of years. But you're right. Gotta take it one game at a time.
Just ride the wave, man. Just ride the wave, bro. I mean, you never know, right? We go out there and we do something special. He might be like, look, man, you know, he might go to Jalen Hurts and be like, look, man, let's both give a little money back so we can be we could be good for a while. You know, you never know. So
run it back.
Yeah. We gotta have some faith and some hope. You know.
Oh, I know. But
Yeah, let's
we
stretch
got a
you
lot
up.
of dudes on free agency coming up this year.
Yeah, some of them is, some of us we're gonna holler at you, but some, we might want to keep. Yeah.
That'll be a conversation for another day.
Some of them this all season we'll be talking about some of those people you're talking about. We'll holler at you. But definitely not quite there yet. So I'm gonna go ahead here. I'm not gonna full screen it. We don't have a rowdy one here tonight. I'm just gonna give you guys a couple of updated numbers from the Philadelphia Eagles. Offensively, we did go over some of the defense earlier. So we'll go over some offensive numbers. So power rankings, we're number 2. You guys can tell me how you feel personally. I could care less. We could be 32. It's power rankings. We're 7-0. That's what matters to me. I don't really care about power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
We're 3rd in total offense. We're 10th in passing. We're 6th overall in rushing. We have 2,768 total yards. That's 19th. But we have 395.4 yards per game, which is 10th. So the discrepancy you get there is because, again, we've only played 7 games. So our offensive stats should improve as other teams going by, but our defensive stats might come down a little as other teams going by. Passing yards, we have 1,721, 19th. Rushing yards, we have 10,047, which is 9th. We have 196 points so far, 28 points a game. We're 2nd. We talked about earlier in interceptions. We only have 2. We're 15th in touchdowns. Receiving individually, 143 receptions. That's 28th in the league, right? But we have 1,822 yards, which is 19th. We average 12.7 yards per game, which is 3rd in the league. And we're trying to understand there's 2 teams above us. They're actually tied. They average 12.8 yards per game, per catch. So we are 0.1, actually 0.2 from being the top team in the league in yards per game, per catch, excuse me. So that's, to me, that's crazy. And the reason that that's very impressive is we have so few yards, right? We're so low on yards but we are top. We're, top 2 when it comes to actually yards per catch. So that's amazing. 10 touchdowns, 15th in the league, of course. It's the same, rushing yards, 149.6. That's 6th in the league. Rushing touchdowns, we have 14, which is 2nd in the league. So we are getting it done with touchdowns. We obviously have multiple people that have had rushing touchdowns this year. A lot is going well. The ball is spread out. We're one of those teams that have a balance of a very strong running game and a solid passing game by the percentages. The sheer number, of course, is going to be lower because we're passing the ball more. But this just goes to show, and the reason why I wanted to really highlight the offense this week is it just goes to show how well our percentages are with the opportunities that we're taking. So just think about if we were taking 2 or 3 more opportunities to throw the ball in the game, we run the ball 2 or 3 more times successfully and not just giving up at the end of games, how much better those stats could be. So, still doing well, still, proud of what we're getting accomplished, but so much room for improvement. I don't see where we could be complacent right now.
Yeah.
And then we also had, now before we move on, do any of you guys have any thoughts, whoever wants to say anything, if you have, about those offensive stats?
Good, man.
Cool. All right, so we'll hop on to Wyatt's Eagles fun facts.
Yes,
Wyatt
sir.
compilated a couple of fun facts he wanted to share with everyone about the Eagles. So
just some stats and stuff here. Apparently, AJ Brown, he has 659 yards as of right now. It's most by an Eagle through 7 games since TO in 2005. He had 763, which is pretty crazy through 7 games. So I mean, AJ Brown's right up there, with history right now. Eagles history with TO. Also, CJ is the first Eagle since Asante Samuel in 2010 and the first safety since Wes Hopkins in 1985 with 4 interceptions in a 3-game span. So, I mean, players are just out here doing what they do best. Last 2 things here. Eagles are just the second team in the NFL since at least 1940 to have 2 turnovers through 7 games. So that's pretty much going off of what you were saying, Cool, about how we're just protecting the ball. Jalen Hurts is doing everything he can to protect the ball. And the last thing, this is probably the most interesting out of all of them too. AJ Brown was revealed this week that apparently every time he has a 100-yard game, he tapes $100 to his shoulder pads throughout the season, which is pretty wild. I thought that was pretty cool. But that's all that I have. Just some quick fun facts.
Yeah, definitely very interesting. Crazy. We just have so much going on, man. It's just exciting, to be an Eagles fan right now. Everything's kind of rolling the way it needs to, and very excited about it. A little bit more to go here. So just a couple more things here. The main thing we have left, of course, is our preview for the game against the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Sorry, may I? I don't feel well at all. I'm breaking out into a full sweat. Gosh, I hope it's not a fever. If it's okay, may I answer first, and then I'm going to have to sign up. And
absolutely,
Eva, thank you for noticing. You're an angel.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I am so sorry. I made it as fast as I can, but oh my goodness. Wait, gotta get my notes. Don't want to get anything wrong. Hell. Okay. Texans. So I don't, again, have anything to say about the Eagles. So Texans are okay. Okay, the series between Texans, at least I know because I looked it up. We've been 5-0. The last meeting is the last one in 18, I think. And they have not that we don't have rookies, but Texans are I think, a very young team. And their cornerback singly, rookie Jalen Petrie. So another safety, rookie. And Damian, I think, Pierce. So I think Brandon Cooks could be the only person that might be able to get open and be explosive. And that is all I have to add. So we are 7-0. Don't care. Texans to me are not a threat. Anything can happen. But I am all Eagles next week. No coulda. We're going to win. Sorry.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you, guys. I am
Feel
so
better.
sorry to
Hope you feel better.
Definitely
thank
feel
you
better.
so much. Thank you. I'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely.
See you later.
Sorry.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
All right. Eagles Diva, talk to us.
I'm not really worried about the Texans at all. I mean, the only way we could lose is if we just don't play like we're supposed to. If we come out there slacking. But other than that, I feel like honestly we got the rest of everything in the bag. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like we can lose no game unless we lose ourselves. That's the only thing I feel like we can lose. So yeah, I feel good about tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, I mean, we should be going out here doing exactly what we did against Pittsburgh. I feel
Mhm.
like we should be able to throw all over the field, use the run game. The thing, I mean, it is an NFL team. I mean, as bad as the Texans are, they're 1-5, and I think they have a tie. They're like 1-5-1, I think.
Yep.
We can't overlook them. I mean, this is easily like a trap game, I guess, if you had one. I mean, just like kind of similar to the Jaguars when we played them.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried about it either. We should be going out here and handling business as usual. Apparently Brandon Cooks is like questionable. He didn't practice today, so that would be a big weapon off of their roster that we wouldn't have to worry about.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got some extra rest too. We had the starters sit that last 9 minutes of the game against the Steelers, so got them a little bit extra rest preparing them for Thursday, but should be a good one. I'm excited to see just go out and put some points up on the board, man.
Yeah. I want to say, man, I'm excited. I'm going to actually be doing the Pigskin pre-gaming show, and I'm actually going to be doing play-by-play for this game as well. So this is going to be a big one. I'm going to work on trying to get that streamed here on the Eagles Elite channel. I'll definitely post if I can, get that worked out. But yeah, man, so opportunity to just kind of do some other things, talk about the game in more detail as it's happening. Very excited. Hopefully my voice is back by then. Herbal tea, definitely a friend of mine. I just think you guys have pretty much nailed it. In order for us to lose this game, it has to be that we don't come out and play like we need to. If we come out and we play the way that we are supposed to play, this game should not be an issue. We should be able to get these guys. This game should not be any more difficult than the Pittsburgh game. But again, it is on a short week. We do have the Commanders again the week after this, so there's a possibility of looking ahead. I heard people saying like, oh, the Steelers are going to get the Eagles because they're going to be, looking ahead. This is a trap game. I'm like, I don't know what you guys' definition of trap game is. Mine is you're focusing on the game after the game. If you tell me there's any team in the league that we were focusing on the Texans instead of them, then I have a real problem with where our mind is at, where we're at mentally. So I'm just saying, like, for me, it's just a matter of let's go out, let's do what we need to do, let's handle this like business. Let's put them away in the first half. Let's have them done by the third quarter. Let's get Minshew a quarter this game, right? Minshew in the backups. Let's get them in the game for like a full quarter this time. And that's what we should be looking at. Let's get in. Let's try not to get anybody hurt. Let's get this game over with, and let's get out of Houston. I know it's a big homecoming game from Jalen. This is going to be his first time actually playing in that stadium. He's been there a lot of times, but this is going to be his first time actually on the field playing. So I know he'll be excited about that. But let's just get in, do what we got to do, and get this game over with. That's pretty much how I'm feeling about this particular matchup.
Yeah, it's nice to have that like extra bye week kind of too, if coming out of this before we play Washington.
Yeah, so it would be definitely a long week for us. Is another way you could definitely look at that and think about that, man. I just got to say, this is exciting. I didn't expect to be sitting at 7-0. Looking 8-0 in the face right now, possibility 9-0 down the road, in a couple of weeks. But man, it's great to be an Eagles fan this year, man. It's great to just be on this ride. There'll probably be a loss. There's no one team I'm looking at like, oh man, I think they're going to beat us, but there's going to be a loss, maybe a couple of losses. But if we can get a strong lead, now we have a game and a half. If we win this week, we build that to 2 on at least the Arlington football team because they're on bye. But we just need to go out, continue to execute. There are other teams in our division that are doing well, so we by no way, shape, or means have sealed anything up, have locked anything up, because we go out there, we lose a couple of games we shouldn't lose, we fall back into the pack. But as we stand right now, we're looking solid, and we just need to continue to be that way. When we're looking at, the divisions in the NFC, last thing I wanted to, quickly discuss is just, the teams in the divisions, and if the playoffs were to start right now, kind of who would be those top 4 seeds. So obviously in the East, it would be us. And then at 7-0, we would be the number 1 overall seed as well. Obviously, Minnesota is 6-1, so they would be number 2. Atlanta is leading the NFC South. I could not have believed I would be saying that to begin the season, right? At 4-4 at 500. So they're the only team that's actually over 500. And then the Seattle Seahawks are 5-3. I wouldn't have believe I'd say that either.
Oh, Gino, man.
Yeah, there's so much talk about the 49ers, but right now they're not even first in their division. Then you look at who would be, just based on wins and losses. We're not going into tiebreakers and all that yet, but just based on wins and losses, right? Dallas and New York would definitely be, 2 of the 3 wild card teams. But then you look past them, man, and this is where things get interesting. The only other teams that have at least 4 wins is the Commanders and the 49ers. That's it. Everybody else has less than 4 wins.
Jeez.
So when you look at the NFC, man, just based off wins and losses, not tiebreakers, whoever, but, and then we can even go to conference record. The 49ers are 4-2 against the conference. The Commanders are 2-3. So with that being said, right now it would be the 49ers because it's the first tiebreaker. But, I mean, Commanders can turn around, go on a winning streak. If you have more wins, the tiebreaker doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so
they got Heineke there. Seems like they actually play under Heineke.
Yep. And I've said all along, I've never been a Wentz fan. So the fact that he's no longer playing, that makes them a more dangerous team to me. So Eagles Diva, then Wyatt, any final thoughts? Anything else you wanted to discuss that we didn't touch on before we finish the show for the evening?
No, I'm just ready to keep moving forward. Like you said, I'm sure it will be a loss. And I just kind of hope that we can just basically win our division. I don't see why we can't win out through our division. But the Giants could be a trap game. Now that Heineke is playing, that could be a trap game. Still got Dallas again in Dallas. So that could definitely be a trap game. And Dak Smack is back, so we got to deal with that. But other than that, I don't know. I really don't. Like I said, unless we just not doing what we supposed to do on both sides of the ball, is the only way we really could lose if we shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah. And one thing we neglected to mention, I'm surprised you didn't mention it, Cole, was Jalen Hurts broke the record for most wins in a row, for a streak in the Eagles history. He has 10 regular season wins in a row, which broke Wentz. Who else was it? McNabb and who was the other QB? I know
it was Vic, right? Wasn't it Vic?
Was it Vic?
Yeah.
But yeah, he broke that record now. He's standing alone at 10 win streak there for the Eagles.
Why? I thought you were going to put that into the
breaking news,
fun facts. So that's why I didn't.
Oh,
I was like, I'm gonna leave that for Wyatt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I didn't know if you were gonna pull it up during your rankings or something like that.
I don't know. I was saving it all for you, man. All for you.
Oh man, I should have then. I should have did it then.
All good. I knew you would bring it up before you. And I was like, he's gonna say it before. It's all good.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty exciting. Man, like you said, I never would have thought we'd be sitting here at 7-0, looking 8-0 one day away, right in the face. I mean, hopefully it all goes to plan. We'll be 8-0, sitting through all these games Sunday, not even have to worry about anything. And then we have that long week to that Washington game. But, I'm just happy we're healthy at this point. I'm going to knock on wood, because normally at this point in the season, we all banged up. I mean, it was looking rough a couple weeks ago. Everybody was kind of going down or had something going on. But other than Josiah Scott and Jordan Davis, who was just put on IR, we're fully healthy as of right now. So, I mean, we're in a great position going into the back half of the season.
Yeah, man. I just want to say, as I said, the title, A.J. Brown is what we talk about when we say be elite. This dude is a monster.
Yeah.
I love this guy being here. He's made my quarterback look better. He's helped Devontae Smith because he's a mentor for him. He's a presence. He's a voice. He's a real laid-back dude. I've watched a couple of interviews he did today with the team, and just shows he was asked to come on and everything. And also, I will not let this show end until I say, Roger Goodell, you are the juice in the bottom of the trash can that gets stuck in the corner and it hangs out there for like 2, 3, 4 months until it gets warm and we get a chance to wash out the trash can. You are trash juice for my receiver being tested because he went out and had a great game. And you can't tell me that that's a random drug test. That's hogwash and that's poppycock. My man was targeted, and guess what? He passed. So eggs on your face, Roger Goodell. Next time, do better.
I know you're not surprised. He does it every time a player has a breakout game. They get drug tested. I know you're not surprised.
Kicker kicks like a 60-yard field goal. Drug
But
test.
no, you have to thank for that. Loudmouth ass Michael Irvin.
But let me ask you a question, though. I'm going to ask y'all a serious question. Did Christian McCaffrey, Mr. Triple Threat touchdown, throw a touchdown, run a touchdown, catch a touchdown, did he get tested?
No.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Right.
Not
There were
at all.
several guys that had better weeks than A.J. Brown.
Well, they'll probably use the excuse that he just got drafted. He just got traded over there, so they drug tested him then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
He had his physical or whatever.
Bull spitting.
Mhm.
They be bull spitting. That's all it is. They be bull spitting. But you know what, man? What do I always say? No one likes us, and we don't care. That's including the commissioner. We don't like you either. But guess what?
Yep.
You can't stop us. You can't.
I'm still thanking the Titans, man. I can't believe they gave us A.J. Brown.
Like I said, when they made the trade, I proclaimed the next 3 seasons, the Titans are my second favorite team. We're in year 1 of my second favorite team. And unfortunately, we have to play my second favorite team. But hey, you know I'm rooting for that week.
Yeah, your first favorite team.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, guys,
I hope he has a similar game against them.
Absolutely. Another great episode. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate Jay Swoop as well. Rowdy Rob was not able to make it with us tonight, but it's all good. We held the fort down. We'll look forward to having the whole Fab 5 back next week. And with that said, fly Eagles fly. Hashtag be elite. Be ready for next week. And stay tuned tomorrow. Play-by-play. Philadelphia Eagles. Houston Texans. Let's go.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagle, fly.
Fly Eagles fly.